So in my book, The Contrarian Salesperson, which Mike had mentioned, I talk about, does anyone read it? It's not very good, so, okay. Few of you have. It's mediocre. So I gave the example in there, I think that applies to comfort zone. That's Mount Everest. Mount Everest is 29,029 feet. And so there's the base camp you get to looks like this. And when you get to the base camp, you're halfway up, you're at like 17,000 feet and change. And as you're climbing the mountain, of course, it's getting more dangerous. So you go to Camp 2 and you go to Camp 3 and you spend, I don't know, like a week there and acclimate to the altitude. And so you get like to Camp 3, let's say, at 23,000 feet, and you look out, and it's a pretty good view. And you're like, this is pretty cool. And by the way, there's an area near the summit called the death zone, right? Which is a bit different than comfort zone, I'm guessing, from what we're talking about. And so you're at Camp 3, and you say, I'm entering the death zone. There's a lot of risk. It's going to be tough. Maybe I'll just camp. Do I need to keep climbing? This is kind of cool. And who here knows somebody in their career, they've been camping for multiple years, and at some point, it's actually taking them back. They're using the analogy, I guess they're going to run out of food someday. Because there's no such thing as just staying static. You're either going forward or backwards, and that's the tough thing. So the triggers I see for salespeople typically are things like they have a great month. This puts them in the comfort zone. Great quarter, great year. They have a big account currently that's getting them in the comfort zone. They closed a big deal. They have a big income year. And they get in that comfort zone. They stall. But I want you to ask yourself, and we're all in comfort zones in some part of our life, but I want you to ask yourself, like, what are you built for? There's that John Shedd quote that I love, which is, ship in harbor is safe, but that's not what ships are built for. So what are you built for? Are you built for the harbor, or are you built for the open seas? There's risk on the open seas. It's scary. So I want you to write down any of these that jump out at you. These are categories that you might be in a comfort zone. How about your relationships? Are you in a relationship place where you're in a comfort zone, personal or professional? How about your health? How about finances? How about your investments with finances? We've had a pretty long summer with this bull market. Winter is coming. Are you ready for that? It's coming. It's just a question of when it's going to come. How about your career? How are you in your career? Are you in a comfort zone? Personal development, prospecting behavior. How about your current accounts? This is a classic place people get comfortable. Who's been guilty of getting comfortable with an existing account and then it went away because you weren't doing the right stuff? Relationship Builder is a tool I did want to point out here. So who's familiar with Relationship Builder? This is a tool you can get from your Sandler trainer. And it's a tool that really is designed to, at the top, you fill in the key contacts and their disc profile, and if you're connected on LinkedIn, those sorts of things. But the value of this tool, I think, to help you get out of comfort zone is the bottom, where you figure out how can you build and enhance your relationships with your current relationships, with your current relationships, but in the current state or in the future. How can you improve things now and going forward? You know, salespeople make this call. Who's seen a salespeople make the call that says, just checking in. Hey, just wanted to stop by. Hey, just wanted to touch base. Is that creating value? Who's that call all about? It's about the salesperson. I want to be the person who has this person? The phone rings, you look at the caller ID, and you're like, not taking that call, right? I want to be the call that when they look down, they see caller ID, they say, I got to take that call. I always get energy or value out of that conversation. I want to be the salesperson that is the one that they take the call from every day because they know there's value in every conversation I'm bringing to them. So what kind of value are you bringing on a regular basis, or are you falling into the rut of the comfort zone with existing accounts where you're making the just stopping in call? It's kind of pathetic. Not that you would do this, but those other salespeople, it's not good.